everyone, welcome to my channel, BIANCASKOGENBEAUTY. I'm so glad to have you guys here today. How are you guys doing? Doing good? It's summertime, so I'm doing good. I love summer. And then I also love fall, so they're just best seasons, right? Not everyone feels that way, but I do. Okay, so today's video has been long awaited by me, I guess. I think some people, like when I was putting all of these Natasha Denona pictures up on my Instagram, people were like, oh cool, I'm excited to see your ranking. I think some people are excited for this video. I'm excited for this video because there was a lot of planning that went into it. So if you couldn't guess from what I just said and from the title, this is my Natasha Denona palette ranking. I have 18 Natasha Denona, like full-size palettes. I'm not ranking the tiny little mini sizes in here because 18 was enough. I've learned some things about my Natasha Denona collection and Natasha Denona in general by doing this, and so it was a really good experiment. What I did is that normally in a month, I pull out eyeshadow palettes for that month, and then I go through those eyeshadow palettes. And right now it is July, and so I pulled out kind of like beachy, mermaidy, oceany, neon-y, kind of like bright, summery palettes. They're over here, so I'm kind of pointing over here. I have like a Shop My Stash of palettes. But in the month of May, I did a Shop My Stash with only Natasha Denona palettes. And I have 18, so I was like, I can do that easily. So there's 31 days in May, so I was like, I can do that plus extra palettes. Like I was like, I could probably even get the mini palettes in there too. No. Little do I remember that I don't wear makeup every single day. I want to, and that's my goal, is to wear it every day because I like the way it just makes me feel. Like I like to put it on. It makes me feel artistic. I look at the mirror and I'm like, oh yeah, remember that fun look that you did today? Oh, that was so much fun. Makeup is fun. Doing makeup is a lot of work and I don't feel like doing it every day, especially because I work from home. I didn't even get through all 18 in the month of May. It took me until some of June. And there were like a couple of videos that I did in between there, like my Ice Cream Beauty box, and I did a ColourPop, the Lila and Stitch palette. So there, and I did Nomad in there too. So there were a couple of other videos that kind of snuck in there during the month of May, which was good because it was nice to get a little change up from Natasha Denona. I have used all of them before. This is not the first time I'm using all of them. I think the Bloom one I have only used once because that one was brand new to my collection. So the other ones I've used a lot. Some of them are, older. This is not a first impressions for most of these palettes. Like I have a bad memory, so I just wanted to have fresh remembrance of how I feel about these palettes. And so I have all 18 over here. I have ranked them and I will be showing you pictures because I did pictures of them on my Instagram. I will put them wherever they fit best, here, somewhere. I'll put them up on the screen because I think it's important for you to see the look I got with it, because part of the ranking is also like the look as well, because some of them didn't blend as well or things like that. Number 18, my least favorite palette. And you may realize that I don't have every single Natasha Denona palette. So this is just out of my 18 that I own. The least favorite out of my collection is this one, Hyper Natural Face Palette. So I included this one in there, even though it's kind of, I feel like almost a hybrid between a mini palette, because the mini palettes only have 5 shades, and then just like a face palette, yeah. But it's the same size. I'm gonna give away the next one, but it's like the same size as the midi size ones. I feel like it goes in here. And especially because I store these palettes, the bigger palettes, in the same place. I store all of these midi palettes with this face palette, so it gets ranked with it. This palette, let's put up a picture. I did not like the look I came up with. This one and the next one you'll see that you already saw, sneak peek of it, cool toned, kind of cool toned. And this one doesn't actually seem as cool toned as it is, but it came out really cool toned. And you just don't have a lot of options, a lot of variety here. You have, 5 eyeshadow shades. You have bronzer and blush. So I did use the bronzer as my bronzer, and I used the blush as my blush. I think I also used the bronzer as like a base shade. That's one of the things that I don't super love about this palette. There aren't any mattes here. These are all like satins or shimmers or whatever. I felt like the look I got with this one was really boring and really, like, as you can see here's a word to the wise. This is kind of my preferred look. Not exactly this look in particular. I actually was fooling around with colors and having a good time to get this look, but like, and it's summertime, so I like brighter looks in the summertime, but like I am more fond of bright colors. that because I like to make art on my eyes, then I like these neutral palettes. Neutral palettes, it's harder to make like a fun artistic experience on my eyes where you can. You'll probably be able to see in the ranking that the ones that have more colors and more color options, like not monochromatic, are towards the bottom. Like the bottom meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, higher ranking. So this one, I might even declutter this one. Actually, I did an eyeshadow palette declutter, and having used all of these, I'm like, I might have some to declutter now. So my next declutter that I do, I think that I have a couple that I can declutter because I didn't have a good experience with this one. And I always say that, you know, face palettes are great for traveling because I have bronzer, blush, and then even this one can be a highlighter. But it wasn't worth it to me. It wasn't worth it to me. I cannot spend that long on all of them, or this is going to be an 80-minute video. Come on, Bianca, step it up. All right, the next palette, number 17, Natasha Denona Glam palette. Here's the picture I got with it. I hated this look. I hated it. I just don't like cool tone stories on me. Like, I tried it to be like, Bianca, maybe you're just being ridiculous because I have a cool undertone. So cool tone should go with my face. But every time I wear a cool tone story, I just hate it. I feel like I look half dead. I don't know, I just don't like it. Even if other people say that's pretty, I'm like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? So this one, Natasha Denona Glam palette. This is not my first time owning this palette. Maybe 3-4 years ago, Sephora didn't have a stock of this Glam palette for a long time, and then it came back into stock, and I was hearing all of the content creators talking about this palette being like, it's coming back, code blue, code yellow, whatever, I don't know, it's coming back, you need to purchase it. And so I was like, hey, the Sephora VIB sale was coming up. I was like, I gotta get this. Everybody's talking about this palette. And I was kind of intrigued by the fact that it has instructions. I'm kind of like a color by number kind of person. I like rules and instructions. And so it says on here, center eyelid, outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, it has instructions. Do you have to use it like that? No, you don't, but you can. And so I like that. And so I was like, there's nothing bad about this palette that I won't like, except for everything. I don't like this palette. So it's not completely cool toned. There are a little bit more swaying on the warm tone. This is a little bit more warm tone. This, actually just kind of that side in general is a little more warm tone, but it still kind of leans cool tone. It's a warm tone color that leans cool tone. I don't understand how, but it does. I just hate the way this looks on me. So I did buy this palette 4 years ago, and I returned it. I returned it to Sephora, which I hate doing. But I paid, I think it was $65 back then and then 20% off. This is not worth what, $55 or there's always taxes and stuff. So whatever, it was a lot of money and I was like, this isn't worth it to me. So I returned it. Then last year, Black Friday happened and this palette and another palette in here were together as a bundle for $69. These are now worth $69. So it was buy one, get one free. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I don't have it anymore. Maybe that was younger me, not really understanding cool tones. Maybe I'll like them more in the future. No, I don't like them. And I might even declutter that one again. I don't know. I feel like I've already given that one away or I returned that one once. Should I maybe I should sell it on the Poshmark I keep talking about making that I never make. I don't know. We'll see. This palette. Okay. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. This was one of my first Natasha Denona palettes. I got it from Black Friday. It was half off because these are $129 palettes. So it was half off. So I got it for that's $65. So cheaper than the midi palettes. This palette. And it's purple. And you can see purple is one of the colors I like. I don't know what it is. Let me put up the picture. I hated my look that day. Okay, caveats. I did do a halo eye. And halo eyes, 90% of the time when I do a halo eye, I hate it. The other 10%, I love it. So was I already kind of setting myself up to fail by doing a halo eye? Yes, unless I loved it. But I actually was thinking I was going to love it because I was like, purple, no problem. Guess what? Bianca loves purple. In my hair, it's actually kind of gray right now, but it phases between gray and purple. And I just was like, I was giving this the best shot because I love purple. It didn't blend out well. It was kind of stiff. All of the shades were nothing special. This is an expensive palette and it's just not special at all. And I was thinking maybe it's older. This is an older formula. This is her older palette, so they're just not as good anymore. I have one that is in this same packaging that is this bigger style later in the list, and it did much better than this one. So I don't know. I just didn't like it. And I'm sad because I love purple, but I've got some purples later on in the list. And this one just like, it's kind of sad. When purple lets me down, I know it's a bad palette. And so these three palettes here are probably getting decluttered the next time I do a declutter. Lila was 16. Let's go with 15, right? We have the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. And these are so reflective. Some of them more than others, as you can tell. And it was so hard for me when I was taking pictures of these because I take them on my stairs and there's a chandelier right above my stairs and they were all reflecting the chandelier. And I was like, it is so hard to get these pictures. Anyways, reflective palettes, right? This one's a little less because it is like a matte reflective, but you know, whatever. I'm saying a lot of things. I like this. When we're getting into the like those bottom three were ones that I really don't like. I don't dislike this one. This one has like some brights and I like bright colors. And we have a couple like almost kind of purples, and I like a warm tone palette because warm tone, I feel like these colors are the opposite of green, like red, opposite of green, which makes my green eyes just pop, right? It's not the color story I don't like. It is a little bit monochromatic, like it is very just sunrise colors, nothing else, but I mean, it's called the Sunrise palette, so yes. But I have another palette in here, in this list, the Sunset palette, okay? Which is very similar. Do I need the Sunset and the Sunrise palette? No, I don't. Especially because you can, I haven't shown you the Sunset yet because it's better. It's better. This palette is not as good. It's not as good. I'll show you the look, or I already did. The look wasn't, it didn't pack a punch. It was just, I have so many indie brands that just give with eyeshadows. And when Natasha Denona sometimes can just pack a punch and give you some really stunning color, because like there's not a lot of like mainstream brands that are doing eyeshadow palettes. So I do really like Natasha Denona because she's still putting out eyeshadow palettes consistently. A mini palette just came out like yesterday that I saw on Instagram. So she's still putting out eyeshadow palettes, which is really rare for mainstream brands. So I do like Natasha Denona, but like I'm finding that my $70, let's round, $70 is better invested in an indie brand palette because Natasha Denona is just, it's not as special. She makes some really good ones for me and some not as good ones. This is a harder video than I thought it would be. Like I'm excited to do this with other brands because this taught me a lot. Like I'm gonna get into this over this video, that how much has taught me about this brand. And so it'd be really nice to do that with like Nomad Cosmetics and Odin's Eye and Bella Beauty Bar and just a whole bunch of brands that I have a lot of palettes from. Number 14, another face palette. This is the Natasha Denona Face Glam palette. This one ranks higher than the last one. Oh, and it's the dark one. There's a light one and a dark one. And I will have to say I got a lot of these on sale because Sephora will put these on sale, or Natasha Denona herself will have like 30% off sales, or during Black Friday she'll have like 40, maybe even 50% off. So a lot of these I get on sale. Some of them, right when a Natasha Denona palette comes out, I buy it and then maybe regret it because it's like the FOMO. Everybody online is saying, Natasha Denona is coming out with a palette, I'm buying it, I'm putting out looks, and you should buy it, and it's so amazing. And then I get it and I'm like, is it so amazing? So I'm learning. A lot of the time I'll get $100 point perks from Sephora when you get 2,500 points, and from Ulta when you get 2,000 points, you get $125. And so some of these I have bought, like I got kind of free, I guess you could say, with those points. This one is better than the other one because I like that it has a cream blush. The other one was just, I just felt like it gave me a very dry, dusty look. And this one was not. This one was a nice look. Although I remember having to put on, I'll show you the picture, put on fake eyelashes because I don't wear fake eyelashes very often. They're a lot of work to put on and they're uncomfortable and whatnot. And I usually work from home, so what's the point? Anywho, I put fake eyelashes on for that look because it was like, it just needed oomph. So I'm putting this one down here as number 14 because it needed fake eyelashes in order for it to look really good. Like, did I come up with a good look? Yes, I think I did. But I had to kind of cheat to get there. So again, could this probably be ranked in the minis because you only have like 5 actual eyeshadows? Technically, yes. But I don't think I just used only the eyeshadows. Like this right here, I believe I used in the inner corner because this other shimmery shade and this shimmery shade are a little bit darker. So they are not very good for inner corner. So I think I used the highlighter in my inner corner, if I can remember. This was a while ago and I have a terrible memory, but I have the picture. This one was a very like sultry look, and this is the darker version, and which is fine. But the darker version always goes on sale at Sephora, whereas the light version has never gone on sale that I've seen. I'm finding out that even if it does go on sale, I don't need to buy it because, as you can see, the face palettes are not my favorite because I have a whole bunch of other ones that rank before the face palettes. So even if I get a half off, don't give in, Bianca. Don't do it. All right, here is number 13. This palette has given me nothing but fits. This is the Natasha Denona Golden palette. I never got the Natasha Denona Gold palette. So if you're expecting that to be further in the list, it's not because I never got it. I tried to once and long story, I wasn't able to. This palette, we were all excited that the gold palette was being replaced. We were gonna get a gold palette. Well, she didn't put in those like teal forest green shades, which I feel like this could have really used. This is incredibly monochromatic. And also, I have made like 4 or 5 looks with this palette. I think it was 5. And I liked 2 of them and I hated 3 of them. So I'm sitting at more hated looks than liked looks, which is not good. So you might be like, why is this 13 and not on your bottom? The other ones were just worse. And the 2 looks that I got were really pretty looks. I really did like a lot those 2. And I learned something. After I did my 3rd look with this palette, and that was the first look I liked with it, I realized you're doing too much. So this eyeshadow I have on right now has like 8 different shades. 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. Okay, 6 shades. Okay, so this has 6 different shades. I think I did something like that the first 2 times. I tried to use like 4, 5, 6 different shades, and I just overdid it. This is a very like slap on something and get out of here, and you'll come up with a beautiful golden goddess look. And so the 3rd time, I think I used 2 shades, and it was like, oh wow, there you go, Bianca, done. This is stunning. Stop trying to overdo it. Look it, I overdo it. So my 4th time I tried this palette, I still tried to not overdo it, and I think I did, and I didn't like it. 5th time, in between someone or wherever, I have a look here. This is my 5th time I used it. And, you know, it's not completely simple. I don't think I only used 1 or 2 shades, but I did end up liking this look. So this 5th time is one of my 2 that I liked. Also, it gets to be higher up because there is a duochrome or a multi-chrome in here. You can't really see it, but it is like white to gold. And whenever something has something special in there, it gets ranked a little higher because I do like it. I don't know. I think this palette is ranked all the way down here because it embarrassed me. I embarrassed myself to myself. Nobody else was like, Bianca, you're embarrassing. Why should a palette be this hard for me to figure out? It's so monochromatic. Why was it so hard for me? Palette number 12. More reflections. Sorry. This is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. Another very monochromatic palette. I did really like the look I came up with this one. And I think it's because I really incorporated these colors right here. Maybe just this one. Did I use that one? I can't remember. But I really tried to use like these 2 colors. If you got rid of these 2 colors, this would be probably her most monochromatic palette that there is. But she has those and it's like, oh, we have 2 tones going on in here. And so because I made sure to incorporate those, I feel like I came up with a better look. But this palette is down here as number 12 because it's so monochromatic. It is hard to get, I don't know, like you could probably get it, just use these 2 and get a very like deep purpley gray shade on your eyes. You could just use any of these and you will get bronze. And then you can get these together. So I feel like there's like 3 looks that you can get with this whole palette. And this is a $69 palette and you get 3 looks with it. I feel like that's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, this is the palette that I bought this last Black Friday with the Glam palette. So I did get this one like half off. And I do like this one better than the Glam palette, but that was probably an impulsive purchase. I probably shouldn't have got the bronze or the Glam. I think because they're in my lower, like there's 18 here. These aren't even top 9. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have got them. C'est la vie. We have 11. My newest palette to my collection, the Bloom palette. I have a look, and this was the only look I've done with this palette so far. So kind of, and definitely first impressions, okay? Definitely first impressions. The other one's not first impressions. I've used them other times. I have a lot of palettes and I'm trying to use them all. It's sometimes hard to use it multiple times. Anyways, this palette, I like it. It's pretty. It's ranked number 11. It's just shy of top 10. I shouldn't have gotten this one. I think based on my memory, I got it for free using either Sephora points or Ulta points. So there is that. Should I have gotten it? Probably not, because as you can see from the picture, it's a pretty picture, or it's a pretty look. And I believe I put a yellow eyeliner, if I can remember my looks. I believe I put a yellow eyeliner in there, so I kind of made it more colorful. If you can tell, Natasha Denona is a lot more neutral, monochromatic than is my preferred style. It actually, the month of May was very tough for me to do so many neutral eye looks that there were quite a few of these that you're gonna be like, that shade isn't in that palette, because I pulled in like a bright mascara or a bright eyeliner because I was getting sad. Like I needed some bright colors. And this is very monochromatic. It's very like warm neutrals. And I like bright colors. So yeah, anyways, I did get a fun look. Did I kind of cheat to get it? Yeah, a little bit. It is kind of special because I believe, yes, there is a multichrome or duochrome in there. It's like a gold. It's kind of similar in the golden palette. It's like kind of the other one was more white and this one's more like champagne to gold. And this one maybe is a little bit, this one's kind of a little bit champagne to pink. Anywho, this is a pretty palette. I'm not upset that I bought it. I said I probably shouldn't have, but like I shouldn't have paid $69 for it. Getting it for free is fine. It's fine. I do have some in this pile that I'm probably going to declutter. I don't think this is one of them. It is an okay palette, but I'm learning that I need to not follow the FOMO. I hear on Instagram, I hear on YouTube, I hear all of these places that people are just talking up these palettes because they're brand new, and Natasha Denona is such a beloved brand. And as you can see, I have 18 palettes from her of just the big ones. I've got tons more of the mini ones. I also love Natasha Denona. I like Natasha Denona a lot. I like that she's, you know, I said this already. I'm not trying to dog on Natasha Denona. I'm just trying to talk about the bottom of the pile here because there has to be some sort of differentiation, right? I do like Natasha Denona. I just am finding out that just because people say it's amazing, I need to think about me and I need to think, hey, is that extremely neutral? You probably don't need it. You already have Natasha Denona neutral palettes or other neutral palettes. Is that extremely monochromatic? You probably don't need it, because if it's extremely monochromatic, you can really only get one look out of it. So I need to think. This whole endeavor has really taught me to stop following the FOMO and be like, fear of missing out, right? And to really be like, oh, if you don't get that palette, you're gonna be missing out because everybody else has it. Well, that's not true. Everybody else doesn't have it. And it's not that great. This is, what, did I say 11th? Not even top 10. And that's her newest palette. Unless another one comes out before I get the video up. It's really helping me, like when I do declutters, they help me to take stock of my collection and realize, Bianca, stop buying palettes. But when I do this ranking, really helps me be like, you like some Natasha Denona, you don't love all Natasha Denona. So now we are into the top 10 and there is more color in these. And so I think if a colorful Natasha Denona palette comes out, that's when I can be like, hey, maybe I should use Sephora points for that one. Okay, next one, number 10. This is the I Need a Nude palette. In my opinion, this is one, I was gonna say this is like her most nude, most monochromatic, most neutral palette, but I think it's between this one and the Glam one. I guess it depends. Like the Glam one is most nude, kind of cool toned. This is kind of most nude, just like straight down the middle, neutral. Like we've got a little bit of cool, we got a little bit of warm. It's just very like, it's a very neutral palette, like the definition of neutral. Anyhoozle, it does skew very light. There's like one, maybe two darker shades in here, which is hard for like a lot of different skin tones. But also, if you are trying to make a, like deepen up a look, you really have one matte option. It's number 10 because I did kind of find a new love of this palette though. I did buy this with either Sephora or Ulta points because of that FOMO feeling. Everybody was talking about this palette. I think this might be like Natasha Denona's #1 palette, like that people love, like audience loved palette. This is it. People love this palette. And I feel like this is a really great neutral palette, especially like a wedding day palette. This would be a really good one. It's very soft, it's very neutral, and I discovered it's very pretty. There are some really, really, really pretty shimmers in here. I did have a mishap though. This one and this one fell out and I had to squish them back in, but they're staying in now. So there we go. I'm sure if I turned it upside down, they would fall out again, but it does have some really beautiful shimmers in here. And if you can see my picture, you can, because it's right here. I came up with a really beautiful, stunning, like everyday look. Sometimes when I wear these, you know, artistic looks, I like will go out and people will stare and I'm like, maybe like I'll get a little self-conscious because I'm like, you know, wearing bright green eyeshadow. I like it. I like the eyeshadow, but like sometimes when I wear things like this, I just feel like a bride. I don't know. I'm not a bride anymore. I got married almost 18 years ago, but like it's just so easy pretty. It has this beauty, like it's almost showing your inner beauty. Does that make, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's very much highlighting the already beautiful features on your face and your eyes and whatnot. And so I really like this one. And this one was like, when I thought about ranking this ranking, I figured this one would be at the bottom because I was like, it's just so boring. I look at it and I'm like, I'm bored. Look at that boring color story. Then I used it a couple times and I went, shut up, Bianca. That's not boring. That's stunning. In a very like easy stunning. It's a very pretty palette. So I'm also glad that I got to kind of change my mind on this one. And I really like this one. And I will not be decluttering this one. This is a very stunning palette. Okay. Number 9. This is halfway through our palette collection. I told you I had another of these bigger size palettes, the $129 palettes. Did I pay $129 for this one? Oh, no, I did not. This is the Sunset palette. I think it was half off from Sephora, and then I had like $35 of a gift card. I don't remember how I got the gift card, but I had it. It was a long time ago. And so I paid like $40-some for this, and I remember being like really happy about that because it was a really expensive palette. It's a good palette. It is. Look at my look. I actually I had low expectations with this one because I used the Lila one first. And so I was like, this is going to be terrible. And it wasn't. I loved my look. I think it came out stunning. So I think maybe I had high expectations for the Lila one and it sunk below those. And I had low expectations for this one and it went above it. So maybe they're even, I don't know. But I liked the look from this one better. This is an older palette. This is her older formula. And the mattes blended fabulous. The shimmers were amazing. This inner corner here, it looks bright white, but it actually has a little bit of gold in it. It's stunning, stunning. I love this palette. I feel like it's not too monochromatic. Like you can kind of, you have like warm colors with yellows, warm colors with like peaches and reds. And it is monochromatic, but I like it better than, so let me show you both because I feel like these palettes are very similar. Yes. I mean, they're definitely siblings. They're not twins. They're very similar, but this one's better. Better quality. I got a better look. The mattes were better. The shimmers were better. It's just a better palette. That's all I have to say about it. And a lot of it has to do with, I guess, my expectations before I used the palette, how the actual look came out with. There's a lot of things that go into my ranking. Ooh, I never mentioned this. If one of your favorite palettes is my like least favorite palette, or one of your least favorite palettes is my favorite palette, that's fabulous because we're all different. We all have differences, and it's so good that we all have differences and we all like different things because we're all human and we're all different, and it's great. Number 8, the I Need a Warm palette. I feel like this one was like the antithesis to this palette. So this is the I Need a Nude, and here's the I Need a Warm. So she did so well with this I Need a Nude that she was like, I gotta do it again. I gotta do it again, folks. So she kind of followed a similar format, but went warmer. Went just a touch warmer, because it's not as warm as like the bronze palette or the Bloom palette. But it still has the very like toned down neutrals. It isn't bright in your face like that. The sunrise and the sunset and the bronze. It is a very beautiful, stunning, easy neutral palette that just will give you a stunning look. Also, this one is ranked higher because there is a multi-chrome in here that goes from red to green, and I love multi-chromes. I love them. I love them so much. And this one is a really pretty one. It has a very nice like flip. Some of them it's hard for you to see the flip, but this one I wasn't even showing you a mirror and you could totally see the flip. I could, but I don't feel like taking off the film. So, anywho, this is a very good palette. It's very pretty. Every look, this look that I got, every look that I've done with it, I've really liked. Okay, technically every look that I've done with it, have I used the multi-chrome? Yes, I love multi-chromes. So maybe if I did a look without the multi-chrome, I wouldn't love it so much. But why would I not use the multi-chrome? It's there. It wants to be used. Number 7, we are getting into more color. You will be able to see that now because I like the colorful palettes. I really do. This is the Retro Glam palette. I have a video where I talked about how I bought this palette and I regretted it. I was like, what the heck was I doing buying this palette? Because I was like, I don't like green eyeshadow. Like the first 4 years of this channel, I didn't like green eyeshadow. I've only had this channel for like 4 years and like 8 months. So it's really only in the last 8 months that I've liked that green eyeshadow. I don't know. Things change. And I have actually kind of been waiting for this change to happen. I've been wanting to like green eyeshadow for so long. So I got this one. Let's hear it. It was on sale. It was on sale. I have a problem. But doing this video is helping me to learn that just because it was on sale doesn't mean you have to get it, Bianca, because there's what is this, 7? There's like 5 palettes in here that I really probably shouldn't have bought, but they were on sale, so I bought them. So I'm learning that if a palette is like a color story that I really like and it goes on sale, then you can think about it, Bianca, from Natasha Denona specifically. But if it comes out and just everybody's talking about it and I'm like, I don't even like the color story, close the computer, close the phone, go on a walk because I need to get away from the FOMO. Okay, so this palette, I remember being like, why the heck did I get it? It is so green. There is some red, but like, and pink, but I was like, there's so much green and I hate green. Well, guess what? I like green now. So yay. And I was thinking when I originally got this, like, I was like, okay, the only way I could use this palette is to make monochromatic green looks or monochromatic pink looks. Da, 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 da. I made a green and pink look and I loved it. I loved it. It was a little bit wild, but I like wild eyeshadow. So I like that you can get quite a variety of looks with this. You could go like even just kind of brown if you wanted. There's some browns. You could go maybe more of that sagey green, like with the browns, like you could go a sagey green. You could go more of like a mint and like jungle green. You could go just like pinks. You can go pink and green. You can like, there's so many options. And so I like this palette, which I'm glad because I remember thinking, what the heck did you do? Why did you buy that palette? And now I'm like, top 7. So good. Go Bianca and not completely hating your past decisions. Okay, number 6, Natasha Denona. I'm so sorry for all those are my lights. This is the Zendo palette. This palette is fun. I like this palette. It is very fall to me. Like I see this palette and I'm like, hey, that's fall. Like the reds and the golds and then the teals. It's just, that's a fall palette to me. Look how colorful it is. I love it. I love this palette. Another thing I was thinking with this, same as this, the last one, I was like, I could only really do like a warm look and then like a cool look. But I proved myself wrong. One of the looks I have, I did that. I did a warm look and a cool look. But caveat, I did kind of a watermelon look. I can't remember. It's been a while, but I think I used the reds and then I did a green inner corner. So you can see in this picture, there is a green inner corner. So it's tiny. So barely did I mix the colors, but I liked that it could kind of go watermelon. Like it was red with a green, like that pop of mint in the inner corner. And I was like, hey, it's like a watermelon. And then I kind of regretted because I did the all blue-y kind of look first. And because I was like, I want to really maximize this palette, which is funny because all of the other looks, I didn't do 2 different eyes. This was the only one that I did 2 different eye looks with because I just thought it would really maximize getting to use this palette. And it did. It did. I got to use one side and the other side. I couldn't picture in my head at first how to make like these, they're softer. So I feel like they can kind of mix together better. But these they're harsher. They're more mid-tones. And so I was like, how do I get those to mix? Well, I did it. And I would like to try it again and make it happen again. Do it again. Like do more of mixing with the reds and the oranges and the blues and the teals and whatnot. It's a beautiful palette. I'm so glad I got this palette. And I even think I also got it on sale. We are in the top 5. Okay, so if you ask me to rank all of these palettes again tomorrow, will it potentially be in a different order? It could be. Like these middle ones, I feel like I could have flip-flopped some of them. Like, I like a lot of them. So I liked these middle ones. It was hard to kind of differentiate. The middle ones are all kind of good. You know what I mean? But the bottom ones, I was like, yep, those go to the bottom. And these top 5, I was like, those go to the top. Yep. So I feel like the middle ones could have kind of got rearranged if I did it on a different day. But we're doing it today. And number 5. I paid almost full price for this one. You'd be surprised. Did I still get it on the Sephora VIB sale? Yes, I did. But that's only like, okay, it's 20% off because I'm a Rouge. But every time it ends up being like 10% taxes. So it's really only 10% off. Anywhoozle, there was FOMO about this one. I kind of have actually right now, I'm going to confess something. I've kind of taken a break on watching YouTube. I normally watch tons of YouTube videos while I'm working, and I just have them like in my watch later list, and I just for hours a day watch YouTube, and so I can kind of keep up on all the latest things that's going on. But I really just took a break, and I've been listening to books, and I'm really happy about it. So anywho, and it's really good because I'm not getting as much FOMO because I'm not listening to people, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that to you. Hopefully you're not being swindled by me, but I was watching YouTube when this Natasha Denona Pastel palette came out, and all the people that I had on, all the people I subscribed to were like getting it and reviewing it, and it was very mixed. Like a lot of these I had FOMO because everybody was loving it. This one had mixed reviews. Some people loved it, and some people, obviously mixed, hated it. And so I didn't get it that first year. I actually got the Give Me Glow pastel palette, and I like that one better than this one. So just spoiler, I don't know. This is not my favorite pastel palette in my collection, but it is top 5 of Natasha Denona, and the reason is because look at all those colors. Look at those colors. I do think that it is a unique pastel. Like, not all of these are pastels. This, chartreuse. This is a bright lime green. We have this like a perfect mermaid teal blue. We have, that's kind of a plummy fall purple, like periwinkle. They're not all very pastel. This is a kind of a fall red as well. Like it's an interesting, like I think it's kind of unique, which actually makes it stand out more, which is why it's like number 5, because a lot of my other pastel palettes I have are just pastel colors. That Give Me Glow palette is only pastel. I like this one because it's unique. It stands out. It's my most colorful Natasha Denona palette I have. So you might think, why didn't you put this as number 1? It's your most colorful. It looks like you could even wear that today. No, I'm not wearing this palette today. I do really love this palette. I liked the look I got with it. And I actually think I wore this look in like April. I was wearing it like during springtime. It's a little bit earlier than the other ones. I'm glad that I waited a year to buy it because I got over that FOMO. And so then at that year mark, it was most people were getting it during the spring VIB sale from Sephora. And I didn't get it that one that it came out. And so then I also didn't get it in the fall because this is not a fall palette in my opinion. So then the next spring VIB sale came out and I was like, okay, it's been a whole year and I still want it. let's get it, Bianca. You still want it. That FOMO feeling is gone. And I'm glad I got it because look, it's in my top 5. Yay. And I feel like I could even pull it out this summer. Like that would be I could get a really pretty summery mermaid look with that. Okay, number 4, Natasha Denona Retro Palette. Okay, this palette kind of makes sense, but kind of doesn't because it's very, very monochromatic. And you might be like, I thought you said you didn't like monochromatic palettes. I don't really, but this palette is kind of the perfect palette for my green eyes. Every shade in this palette makes my green eyes pop and look fantastic. I think I did like maybe 2 years ago, I did a palette, like if I could only keep 10 palettes, and this was in it because it is such it makes my green eyes just look stunning. And I like these burgundy, mauve, pink tones. I think they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. They're kind of a little bit purple, but a little bit red, a little bit pink. Beautiful. So yes, it's monochromatic, but it's the right tone of monochromatic that I like. So if a palette comes out from Natasha Denona, I have to think, Bianca, is it monochromatic? Yes or no? If it's yes, I could potentially still like it. Are they the colors you like? Are they cool tones? Then you don't need it. Are they just very neutral? You probably don't need it either. But is it a color story you like? Like if it was all greens, I might be all up for that. So anywho, I have new lessons to learn when I am shopaholicing. Okay, another kind of monochromatic palette. This is the Natasha Denona Roxa palette. This is like my second newest palette of hers. This is number 3 in my collection. It's purple. I love purple. I love how purple looks on my eyes. I love how stunning purple is. I feel like purple is that perfect mix between like the bright crazy that I like to do, but also can be really glamorous and really pretty and have just a really pretty, like I would go outside and people wouldn't stare at me. So I feel like it's that mix. It's that right in the middle of like, I can have a fun, colorful look, but it can still also look really glamorous and really pretty. So the Roxa palette. Really pretty. It isn't 100% monochromatic. We do have like some more like warm reds over here, and it actually isn't as purple as I think all of us were hoping it to be, because look at this, purple, and you open it up and you're like, 1, 2 like true purples. This mixes together to be kind of purple, so 3. This is like a white with a purple shift to it, so maybe 4. It's not as purple as we all thought it would be, but I came up with some really pretty looks with this palette that I really loved. And I do like that even though it's monochromatic, you could go with a warmer purple, or you could go with more of a blue purple. You could, you can get some, or just pink in here. You can get some different kinds of looks, and you can go like dark, because it's some darker outer corners, dark outer corners. There's like a light inner corner. There is range to this, even monochromatic palette. Number 3. Okay, so you must be like, those top 2 are really special, because I just put a purple palette as number 3, and purple is my favorite. That's true. That's true. So these next 2 are very special. Do you know what they are yet? Have you guessed what they are? I mean, I don't know if anybody knows my collection, so I know my collection. Anyways, I think I have talked about in the past that this is my favorite Natasha Denona palette. So it has been dethroned. I mean, it's still number 2. It's silver, not gold. It is a beautiful palette. I remember when this came out, I did a 5 looks 1 palette, and it was the first time I've ever done something like that. Like I got it in the mail, and I think I had to come home from work, get it in the mail, and then put on all of those 5 looks and film it, edit it, and then get it up as quick as I could. And I remember it was a lot of work, and it didn't get a lot of views, and I remember being sad about it, but I was like, who cares, because it was my favorite Natasha Denona palette that I had. So even though it didn't get a lot of views, I had a fun time with it. And I think it was also using it, doing all 5 looks, I was able to use every single shadow like right away, right when I got it. And so it really gave me a handle on this palette and made me go, wow, this has so much range. Okay, first of all, my favorite part of this palette is that multi-chrome that goes from purple, or now it's green, to purple to green. It's a very strong flipping multi-chrome, which is very important for me. I love when a multi-chrome, if you're wearing a multi-chrome, you want to be able to see it. You want to be able to see that it's flipping. That's the whole point of a multi-chrome, that it flips from, you know, purple to green. And it does, and it's awesome, and it's stunning. So, unlike the I Need a Warm palette, where every single look I did was using that multi-chrome, I have used this multi-chrome a lot, but I've also done quite a few looks without the multi-chrome, and I still loved them. So that's why this is in top 2, because even without the multi-chrome, I came up with some stunning looks. Also, it has those purples that I love. It also is very like fall toned, and summer and fall are my favorite. So we have those fall colors that I really like. It also can have a lot of range. We have a black here. So, and I used one of them with the black. I think I had the black with the multi-chrome on top of the black. Anyways, you can go really dark over here. You can go kind of like, this one's pretty light, and you can just go from like purple to orange to black to just brown. Like, there's so much range in this one. It was her first palette that I had that had a multi-chrome in it. I don't have the Trio Chrome palette. That one has like, I think like 3 Trio Chromes, which would technically just be a multi-chrome, but anyways, but they're not very strong flipping from my knowledge. This was, for the longest time, my favorite Natasha Denona palette, and no longer is. Oh, Bianca, I hope I already showed you the look, because I want you to be able to look at it for a little bit, and then I just start jabbering and I forget to tell you that I'm gonna show you it. Anyways, the editing of this video is gonna be quite a lot to put up all of these pictures. So, you know, like this video for all the work I did. Okay, last but not least, number 1, my number 1 favorite palette. And I would have to say, the number 1 reason that this is number 1 was because I had meh expectations. Like, I was like, this is a good palette. I like this palette. But I used it, and I think out of all of the looks I did, it was my favorite out of all of them. It was the last palette that I used during my entire month of May. I think I pulled it into June, but like, I was like, I guess I saved the best for last. And I didn't mean to do that. It was just the one that ended up last. The Natasha Denona Love palette. I actually have heard that people don't like this palette, that the quality wasn't very good at with this palette. But I love this palette. I love the Love palette. I love this palette. I also loved my look. I just thought my look came out so pretty. That day that I wore that look, I was like, man, I look like $1,000,000. Like, I just loved the look. So I believe I got this like 30% off, because I remember it then like 2 weeks later went 50% off, and I was like, man, but you know what? Hindsight is 20/20, and you can't know everything. And I got it for sale. So I may not have got it half off, but I still got it for sale. This palette is the color story that is perfect for me. I love purples and reds, and maybe even a little bit of oranges, but the opposite of green, because my eyes are green, the opposite of green is red. And so we've got some reds, cool. But I don't only like wearing red. So on the color wheel, what's next to red, we have orange, and we have like purple as well. Purple, right here. We have those purples and those reds, and I feel like purple and red look so good with my eyes. And also, they just look good. I just love them. I think they're so pretty colors. So we have quite the range here. You could just kind of go purple and just do like a purple look. You could just kind of go with a red look. You could just go with a pink look. Like, there's so many different ways you could go with this palette that I like that. And also, it has some range and depth. You have a really dark shade here, a really bright shade here. It has that range, and there's a bright shade here. I love this palette. I loved the look I did. I have a new appreciation for this palette. When I was going into it, I was like, meh, like, I like that palette. I'm not going to like boo on it because it has those colors that I like, but I think I was listening to other people, because I remember this being a split. Like, some people loved it, some people hated it. And so I kind of was listening to that and being like, meh, you know, it's a good palette. It's not a great palette. For me, it's a great palette. It's my favorite Natasha Denona palette. Is it probably yours? Probably not, because you might not be obsessed with purples and pinks like I am, and reds. So for me, this is perfect. It's a perfect color story. Purples, pinks, and reds. Love it. There is my Natasha Denona ranking. This was a lot of work for me to do. Because I wore every single one of these palettes. I did a look with it, and then I posted every single one of the looks. Actually, I don't think I have a look to show you right now, so I don't know why I'm doing this. I did show you all the looks. Anywho, it was a lot of work, and it inspired me to do this again with other brands. But it'll probably be a while because it was a lot of work. I am so glad that I did this because I was able to learn that just because a Natasha Denona palette comes out doesn't mean I need to buy it because everybody is saying it's great. Because I might not say it's great. So I learned what I love in a Natasha Denona palette. Also, I learned saying Natasha Denona over and over and over again. It's really hard for my mouth. I'm gonna have to edit out so many times of me not being able to say it correctly, apparently. I found out that I have a preference in what kind of palettes that I like from Natasha Denona. And so I can think about that the next time when it first comes out, whether I want to buy it or not. Because these are price palettes. These are $69, $70 palettes. This should really be thought about. What is your favorite Natasha Denona palette? Put it in the comments because I want to see. Will I be buying the next Natasha Denona palette that comes out? I don't know. It depends. We'll see, right? And I'm glad of that because in the past it would have just been like, yeah, it's on auto get because everybody gets them. Nay, not me anymore. All right, well, let's have, if you listen to this point in the video, let us have you put in a kissy emoji because my love palette, like a kissy, because I could do just a red heart for love, but that everybody does red heart, so a kissy, the kiss emoji, because my love was my very favorite palette. And so I feel like the kiss emoji is a good one to show love. So if you made it to this point in this video, thank you so much. And I want to personally thank you because it helps me in the algorithm when people watch my entire video. So if you did watch it till the end, put the kiss emoji and let me thank you personally for watching till the end. Yay! And if you like this video, like this video. If you want to see more from me, subscribe to my channel. If you want to be notified of my videos, push the bell. Most importantly, be nice to yourself because you're amazing. Have a great day. Bye.